the correlation between the best runners out there and like what they're doing is high volumes of training. We're basically buying like 10 months ahead of when the product lands in the store. I saw running as some way that I could prove to myself that I could finish things and that I could challenge myself. If you're not injured, you're stopping because it's hard, that's a cop-out. And then all of a sudden up ahead, I'm like, someone from the half marathon mat has like veered across and has fallen down onto the marathon. And I'm like, oh. Some people now would go down and go, oh, this is a bit toxic.
All right. Julian, thanks for jumping on the Noah Jones Show, mate. Cool. We were just talking about your podcast and we'll just hit record, which we have now, because I do want to get into this. How did you start your Inside Running podcast? It is one of the, what did you say, the most listened to in the Southern Hemisphere in terms of running?
I think so. I reckon if you do, like, it's hard to get the proper numbers because it's sort of so dependent on when an episode drops and the listenership on that day versus later on. But I don't think there's any running podcasts that are bigger than us in the Southern Hemisphere, although there could be some crazy South American stuff we've never heard about.
We'll say you're the most listened to. I'll say it. Yeah. It's a pretty good rep to have.
Let me say it. Well, yeah, we started it. The main driver was Brady Trelful, who was doing his own podcast called Tell Me Your Tales, which is actually pretty similar to what you do here, is that he'll grab someone that he knows within the community and he would just give a longer form interview to hear their story. And he actually had myself on 1 week and then Brad Croker, who the other host is, a couple of weeks later. And it turned out we were all doing the one race, Berlin Marathon. And then he came up with this idea to put a series called Road to Berlin, where every week we would jump on and talk about our training for that week in the lead up to Berlin Marathon. And it got so much traction within the running community that when it ended, like after the race, every listener was like, you guys have to keep doing this. Like, I'm going to miss it. I've run with you in my ears for the last 8-10 weeks and it will be a shame not to hear the rest of your, like, as your story continues. I want to be part of it. So we started up Inside Running Podcast in 2017.
And you've been bloody consistent.
Yeah, every single week, at least one episode every week until now. I think we're at 452 episodes.
What do you talk? Like, do you run out of things to talk about after a week?
Mate, there's always something.
So much stuff to talk about.
There's a race. There's always a race to talk about. There's always some issue within the sport. We talk about our training week still, so that changes week to week. And then we do get guests on as well. We have like little segments, new shoes coming out we'll talk about. And
the running company. You're very involved in heaps of running. You turned it into a career. You were a very good runner, and then you've made a business, a podcast, a coached as well. Like, did you ever think this would all happen? All of these things at the start or whatever? You never knew this was going to happen?
Nah. Well, I only really started running when I was like 2008. So I was like 22, and that's when I started running. So I never really considered this before that, and that's only when I started running. I didn't start working in the industry till late 2011, and I was just a casual sales assistant at the running company in Geelong that sort of opened.
So what were you doing in your teens?
Everything. I was surfing. Grew up in Anglesea, so surfing was just my real love. But when you're a teenager, it's in a sort of smaller town, like the town revolves around the footy club and the cricket club. So I played cricket, played footy, got really into that. They're the main. They sort of took over from surfing. I did that until I sort of felt like I wanted to challenge myself more on an individual level, and escape the culture of the footy club a little bit, and I wanted to challenge myself, and I've always sort of felt through all the training that I've done for other sports that I would be quite a good runner if I had a crack at it.
Where'd you play? Were you on the wing?
I was sort of everywhere. I ended up, just because of my endurance, I ended up just being a tagger.
Very versatile.
Well, I couldn't kick and I couldn't handball.
You could run.
Yeah, I could run and I could tackle. Actually, for some reason, I was good at tackling. So I was just put on like whoever the good player was. You know, it was old school country footy, and it's like you don't even think about getting the ball. You just face this guy.
I'll just follow you the whole game.
Exactly. And as soon as this guy gets near it, just push him away from it.
Yeah, that's right. So how'd you get into running then?
So I joined the Navy. Again, a sort of real rash decision. I needed to change something. And in the Navy, like there was, for what I was trying to do, there was some fitness requirements. So I was running to try to prepare for that. And then I joined the running company, which on the naval base that I was on, like the running club.
Yeah. We'll get to the running company.
Yeah. And I saw structured running for the first time.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, this is pretty good. Like all these, the community, they come from every section of the Navy, and like there was some like real physical people. There was some accounting dudes, and these guys all got on so well together. They would talk about the races they were doing, and I never went that often, but I just sort of stuck with me that there's like a little running culture out there that I've never seen before.
So did you enjoy the Navy?
No, I didn't.
Not at all.
I hated it.
So did you go in because why not?
I went in because I had zero direction in my life at that time.
Yeah.
And I needed to do something. And it was one of those things where like, there's not really anything you can just jump into if like I didn't want to do 4-year apprenticeship for something. And so the police was like a more extended entry process.
Yeah.
So,
whereas Navy, you can get in straight away, kind of.
Yeah. Like, and it was just so different. I didn't know anyone in the Defence Force. Like,
it would have been intense. What was it like?
It actually wasn't. It's not intense at all. Like it's intense in that you're taken like me from like this free life down in Anglesea into like absolutely disciplined, regimented.
Yeah.
Do not ask questions. Like you're super punctual. You have to have your bed made like this every morning. And that was, I mean, it's kind of shaped me, I reckon, for the rest of my life. But I'm a little bit too much of maybe a free thinker to just play by the rules there. And I got really frustrated when there's just no autonomy in your day. You're just following the leader. Yeah.
With the making the bed a certain way, what's that teaching the troops? Is it like discipline? Like why would they want it a certain way every time?
Well, it's taking care of the small things every single day, because when the small things, because if you do end up in a wartime environment or you get deployed, it's the small things that can make the difference between whether you live or die at that point. It could be like cleaning your rifle so that it doesn't jam.
Yeah.
If and then that
wouldn't want
jamming
that happening.
creates a problem. And I think if everyone's super dialed in and squared away, then things just run a lot smoother. And you can rely on someone taking care of the small things.
Yeah.
And if you know that person's like a disciplined person, then you can trust that they're getting it right every time.
So how long were you in the Navy for?
I wasn't even in for a year because I really didn't enjoy it. Like I was there. I got really like fairly bad mental health while I was there, and it was just a lot. Like I wasn't ready for the culture of a super high drinking culture.
Yeah.
Like we weren't like there wasn't a lot. It was a bad culture for me to be in.
Yeah.
I wanted something different, and I expected it. It's not what I expected.
So you found running through the Navy?
I did, yeah.
Which is, I guess, the positive.
Yeah. No, it is.
Out of the Navy.
Yep.
So then you left the Navy and then pursued running?
I came back, played footy again.
Yeah.
Mate, I was still fairly lost at that point.
Yeah.
I didn't have any real direction. And it ended up being like I finished a season of footy, and in the next pre-season I ran a lot. And then watched my mate do a half marathon at Melbourne. I thought, this is pretty cool. So then I went down to Portland Marathon and did a marathon down there. And I just absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And I thought, I can't go back to footy. Like, this is something that I want to do. I reckon because I'd quit the Navy, I'd sort of halted university. I hadn't finished anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had nothing to be proud of at that point. And I saw running as some way that I could prove to myself that I could finish things and that I could challenge myself and push through adversity. It felt like every time I got adversity pop up, I'd just quit before that. And so running gave me a chance to prove to myself that I'm not like that. And yeah, and then I also love it's a simple sport that if you put in the outcomes are all about what you put in.
Yeah.
There's no one looking after you, like coming over and taking a handball after you've run too far or like missing a goal. It's like, this is what I do. This is what comes out of it.
Yeah.
Very simple stuff.
Yeah. And the Portland was your first marathon. How much training did you put into that? Or did you did you just rock up and say, I'll just do it?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest run before Portland was the half marathon that I did at Melbourne, like a month before.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was very raw.
Yeah, but that's just like very natural runner. If you can rock up and do that without much training, I think.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty natural, I think I'd say.
Yeah.
Then after, what was your second marathon? Like, did you just start to build an addiction towards marathons?
Yeah, I like the longer stuff. I like to be challenged like that. I ended up doing a half Ironman down here at Geelong. Like I got into the bike stuff and then realised that I was mainly just better at running. So then I went back down I did Great Ocean Road Marathon in 2008 and 2009. And I went okay there. I had a massive blow up, but I like it was a pretty good result. I ran 2:46, I think, through the marathon. And then I went to Melbourne later that year, and that was the breakthrough for me. So I ran 2:27 at Melbourne, and that I was like running on a Victorian team because I'd run one good half marathon in the lead up, and I ended up like it was a good run. Like that showed me at that point of what limited training I was doing that there's probably a future there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not as linear as what I hoped it would be.
Yeah.
It took a lot of ups and downs to actually progress from there.
Yeah. So was the Great Ocean Road, I hear a lot about this marathon. Is it challenging or is it just aesthetic? Like what?
Well, it's both.
It's both.
Yeah.
Is it very, like, do you go on the actual roads? They block off the whole road?
Yeah.
Well, for 40 odd K. And then just straight up and back?
Yeah. No, it's essentially pub to pub. So you run from Lawn Pub and it finishes at Apollo Bay Pub.
Okay.
So it's like 44K and yeah, it's like windy and the whole road's blocked. So it's pretty incredible.
Yeah. And how do you go on like asphalt and running on a road? Because some people would find that challenging, I'd say, if you're constantly pounding on the asphalt going down and up. Are you fine with that, the way, like with your running?
Well, I think...
Are you used to it?
You kind of want to... I think if you condition yourself to the hard surface in the lead up through training runs, you can handle it. That race is difficult because there's a lot of downhill and the downhill really trashes your quads.
Yeah.
And you'll come off the hills at like 30K mark and you've still got 14K left, and that's when your quads are trashed and you start to have trouble sort of lifting your legs up.
Yeah.
So that is a difficult race from the hills, and it also cops some weather. Like the amount of times.
Yeah, well, there's nothing. Like, it's just there's nothing like in between the Great Ocean Road. It's just like Antarctica than the Great Ocean Road. So it's lots of wind.
Yeah. That's pretty much, and it feels like that when you're out there on some of the days, especially when you turn the corner at Cape Patton.
Yeah.
You're like, it's the highest point of the course, and then it's when the angle of the coast changes, so you're even more exposed as you head to Apollo Bay.
Yeah, because is Apollo Bay like on the tip, kind of, or is it just beyond?
It's beyond the tip.
Yeah.
So it's like.
But did you run on the tip?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been
so
intense.
that's that Cape Patton is essentially like the.
I was going to say something and I completely forgot about it. But with the like, I found it. I got it now. With like running downhill, obviously, would you say like what percentage of the race would be downhill in that Great Ocean Road? Because I find it easier to run uphill, and I don't know if that's normal or if that's the way I run. Like, would you agree that running uphill can be easier at times than downhill?
It's a different muscle group.
Yeah.
So running uphill, it requires more power.
Yeah.
And your heart rate goes up. but running downhill is more of like this accumulative, like it's more force. So you're loading the body very differently. So going uphill is more power, glutes, calves.
Yep.
Going downhill is using your quads to control and eccentrically like control the load. So you can do it. It's more of an accumulative soreness that develops.
And what about the knees? Do they?
They cop it more on a downhill
more
for sure.
on the downhill.
Yeah.
What injuries have you had sustained, and what have you had to push through?
I think I've had every injury that a runner can get.
Well, go.
Well, I mean, starting from the very end, like I've had so much trauma to my toes. I've had big toe joint soreness, plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendinopathy. I've had calf strains, medial tibial stress syndrome, patellofemoral pain, iliotibial band syndrome.
This is fairly English for me.
Yeah, well, these are all running injuries.
These are all running.
Yeah, osteitis pubis.
Is this on both legs?
Both legs, yeah, just whatever it comes up on. I've had high hamstring tendinopathy. I've had glute stuff going on. I've had sciatica was one of the worst ones actually. And yeah, I've got like this chronic lower back issue, so I have some really bad flare-ups there.
Jeez, that's intense.
Yeah, I know. That's why like it's been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Because you can look back and go, oh, look at where you got to. But I got to there like I've got maybe 5 runs over a 15-year career that I'm like happy with, and then that's over 15 years.
Yeah.
I've missed months and months of training.
What would all those injuries come down to? Is it just because you're constantly running? Like there's no real way to avoid it as such?
Yeah. I've got this like I got stuck in this mentality of the more you train, the better you get.
Yeah.
Which like there is a little bit to that.
Yeah.
Like if you can maximize your volume of training, that's the correlation between the best runners out there and like what they're doing is high volumes of training. And my best results came when I could string together high volume training. But the problem is that's what injures you. So I would take massive risks with my training and I would get injured, and then I would take another risk and get injured. And it was only when I could string together some time, whether it was luck or whether I was doing the right strength work or whatever it was, in that I got results from the training. The risks became rewards, I guess. Yeah.
So the worst injury you had, was it that sciatica you said?
I reckon that nailed me.
So what happened there?
I don't know. I've got like nerve things in my lower back, and I've had epidurals and all sorts.
And the recovery process is like weeks, months.
That sciatica can last for so long. Like I got over it. I went to Adelaide and I had an epidural, like kind of anti-inflammatory down through the spinal column, and that seems to have really helped it. But yeah, I remember I could barely get out of bed. And anyone can get it too. Like sedentary people can get it, office workers, anyone.
Yeah. Did you ever consider like walking away from running, or like with all those injuries? That'd be hard.
I was sort of tied to running because of like my career, as well as I was coaching. I have a podcast about running. Yeah. So I'm like tied to it. I haven't. No, I know. Not even if I want to.
No, I know. You have to stay there. You're all trapped now. How many marathons have you done? Do you know exactly the number?
Not really.
No. You have a rough estimate?
Probably like
100 plus?
20.
20 plus?
No, yeah. I never really cared about doing a lot of marathons. When I was running well, I would pick 2 a year. Yeah. And I would train properly for them, recover from them, and train again for the next one. Yeah. I would never go marathon.
Yeah. I guess that's how you'd turn into a cactus.
Yeah.
So if you did marathon, you'd have probably heaps more injuries than what you've had.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah.
And you did them, like you've done them all around the world as well. We'll go to Doha in a second as well, where you represented Australia. That's a big deal. But you've also ran across other places in the world, am I right?
Yeah.
Where else?
In the US, we were just on a holiday over there. This was like after one of the really long patches of injuries, and I was just sort of coming back and did Portland Marathon there, funnily enough. Another Portland Marathon.
In the US,
Yeah. And I did Santa Barbara. I ended up going to college for 6 months at Chico State University, which is in California, and I ran on the track team. So I got to experience the team culture of college sport, which was awesome. Then Berlin Marathon. That was 2017, 2018. I've run in Japan a few times, Osaka, Lake Biwa, Senshu International.
What would be the toughest one you've been through?
The toughest one? All marathons are tough because it's about how hard you push yourself that determines how tough they are.
Yeah.
So if you could go to a really difficult place and take it super easy, and then it's not that doesn't feel that hard. Whereas you could go to you go to Berlin Marathon, which is flat as a tack, perfect weather.
But push yourself.
That's your hardest race.
What race would you have pushed your hardest?
Well, I've pushed my hardest in races that where I've gone poorly. So when the race goes really poorly early, and you're in an absolute world of hurt at like 20K, knowing you have another 20K to go, and they come out with terrible times, but it's the duration of time of the pain you're in. So you're in pain for a really long time. So I remember some terrible Melbourne marathons I've had, massive blow-ups, and they're the hardest.
So what do you do in that situation? Obviously you have to keep pushing forward, but what do you try and do to make it somewhat easier?
Oh, it's hard because you go through you've got so long to think about it, and the immediate thing is total disappointment that your race has failed, because you might have spent 6 months training for that one event, and it's all just gone to shit, and you're trying to overcome the sadness of that, and then you get angry that it's happened. So you're like, oh, I've messed this up, or I did this wrong, or I'm so stupid with this pacing. Yeah. And then you're like, well, let's try and get to the end and be proud of, there's still a degree of pride in not stopping. Yeah. No matter how slow you go, if you get to the end, and I think you do owe it to the other competitors out there who are also having a terrible day. Just because you're not going to be proud of the time you ran, if you stop, that's a real cop-out. If you're not injured, you're stopping because it's hard, that's a cop-out. Yeah. And there's a lot of people around you that have also had bad days, and they're still going. Yeah. I feel like you got to owe it to them, to stay out there.
Yeah. Speaking of people that have struggled, I literally saw today that you featured on 7 News when you in the Melbourne Marathon.
Oh, yeah.
How good was this? What year was this? We'll explain that in a second.
2024?
Recently, yeah. I literally didn't know about it until I was just doing some last minute, just stalking you pretty much. And I saw on 7 News that you've helped this guy at the Melbourne Marathon in the stadium, about to collapse. Right? Yeah. Helped him up. You can explain the story in a sec. But then I was looking at what the article was saying, and the guy said that you even stopped his Garmin watch.
Yeah. Not true.
Not true?
No, not true at all.
What?
That's funny. That did go viral. Yeah. I was coming in the MCG. I had one of those shockers that we're talking about.
So it was, okay, yeah.
So I'm coming in the G, and I'm like, I got 200 meters to finish, and I've been thinking about finishing for the last hour and a half. And then all of a sudden up ahead, I'm like, someone from the half marathon mat has veered across and has fallen down onto the marathon. And I'm like, oh no. I really just want to finish, but how bad will this look if this bloke's laying on the ground and I just run around him?
Straight past him.
So then I'm like, I'll get him to the finish. So I go to lift him up, and I'm like, he's a big unit. And I'm not a strong man. So I've just kind of wrenched him up. I'm like, you got to help me, mate.
Are you falling with him?
I'm pretty much falling, and my legs are all cramping, and I'm like, now even more embarrassing would be if I lift this bloke up and we both fall. So I lug him across and dump him over the line. I'm like, geez, this bloke's done this. He's only done a half marathon. Yeah. So he's really cooked it.
Yeah, imagine if he was doing a full. Yeah. And then the doctors came, medical.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure how it happened, but I can't really
Did you get I hope you would have got congratulated for what you did, or like, just like, well done, mate. That's very good of you.
No, I kind of just walked on. He actually, funnily enough, we both know the same people, and so he I'm not sure whether it was him or his partner or his wife or something, reached out and said, "Hey, that was we know this person, Ali, like the girl I coach. We're friends with her, like." Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It was funny how viral it went afterwards.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was literally I saw it on the 7 website. I was like, wow, that's it. That's a big deal.
And the funniest thing was how bad my race went before that. And it was just gave me another excuse to tell people like, oh, I only ran slow because of this last bit. I would have run way faster if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, if you were going at like one of your PBs or...
Yeah, I'm not stopping.
Not stopping.
That's the thing.
Mate.
If I was on a career PB, I'm jumping, I'm hurdling that.
Yeah, you're a metre away from the line. You can get there yourself.
Yeah.
We can go to Doha now. You're representing Australia. Talk us about that race because... I mean, I don't know if that seemed like a pretty good race. Would you
that was
for sure.
A very
it's
probably
good race.
My best race actually.
But, how many people were running? Because you finished like in the 30s, didn't you?
Yeah, I came 39th. I think there was 85 people entered.
Yeah.
My ranking going in was maybe 80. So,
oh wow!
I was never the athlete that should be at the World Championships. Like I ran the qualifying time. But the qualifying times are kind of there, and then you expect to select whoever, from the list who have qualified. But Doha, obviously, super hot place.
Yeah,
you don't really want to run a marathon there if you don't have to. So I was the 4th in line to get into this team of 3. So as soon as one person said they didn't want to, I was pretty much. Oh, cool. I'm going to be in that team. And for me, this is like the only time I'll represent Australia ever. So I'm jumping at it.
Yeah.
Whereas the other blokes like, I don't think I want to go to Doha.
Yeah, it's a rough area.
Yeah. It's like going to be, it could be 40 degrees.
Yeah.
And like marathon running at that level is difficult because you pretty much have to go out very solid. Otherwise you'll look silly because there's only 80 people in the race. Like you look at Melbourne Marathon, there's like 20,000 in the race.
Yeah.
You can hide if you go out slowly.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're on this stage and you're ranked 80th and you decide to go out slow, like
you'll be noticed. I'm
out the back by a mile. Like I look silly. So yeah, it was a bit like funnily enough, I got a lot of help from the Australian Athletics Australia staff to do a more scientific kind of or like mathematical assessment of the conditions.
Yeah.
And looking at historical performances in those conditions. So we had a pretty good plan of what they thought I could run. So we decided to go out on a certain pace and I actually ran a negative split. And so it was held at midnight.
Oh.
In order to sort of negate the weather.
Still would have been boiling though.
Yeah, it was 29 degrees.
Yeah.
And we ran around like a 7K loop. So we did 6 laps of a 7K loop when they had they have these massive spotlights the entire way along this road.
Yeah.
And so it starts at midnight, really weird, like trying to get into the...
Yeah, have you run at midnight before then?
No way.
Yeah.
Well, I did a few nights before. I was trying to get into the groove of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been easy.
No, it was different. Like you fully got to look at your nutrition and try to time when you're going to be eating, as well as try not to be tired.
Yeah. Did you sleep through the day?
Yeah, I was trying to do that, but it's actually really difficult to do. It went really well. Like I finished 39th, which was in the top half of the field. A lot of people dropped out because it was like once you blow up in conditions like that, even jogging to the finish is brutal.
Yeah.
So most of the time, like these guys just go, fuck it, I'll just stop.
Yeah.
So everyone that I passed that was on the side of the road sitting in the gutter, like I felt, although it doesn't look like that in the results, I'm still beating you.
Yeah.
Because I'm still out here going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It was pretty fun, that.
Yeah, and is it easy to, like when you're representing your country, was that the first time you've represented Australia?
Yeah, that was definitely.
Did anything change? Did any routines change? Obviously, because it was at midnight, but do you mentally
Mm.
think any different because you are like representing your country, or did you try and keep everything linear?
No, yes, I was way more. There was way more pressure. I put pressure on myself because if I go and do like a marathon representing myself, who cares if I fail?
Yeah.
Like, this is just me.
Yeah.
And no one really, like, who cares about what happens to me? Whereas if I'm out there and I'm the only Australian representative on that team, if I have embarrassed myself, well, you're embarrassing the singlet a little bit, which means you're embarrassing sort of the country. So I was really careful not to make stupid decisions.
Yeah.
In the end, making sensible decisions that day for the reasons of just not looking silly was actually the best race strategy as well.
Yeah.
Because of the heat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, there's never ever been more nervous than wearing that singlet because it wasn't just me out there it wasn't just me who I was letting down if I fucked it up.
Because it was the World Athletic Championship. It's like the Olympics of the running, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
it's the top of athletics.
Distance runners look at athletics. It sort of gets ranked like Olympics, World Championships, maybe World Cross Country Championships, then maybe Com Games.
Yeah.
So it was that is the peak athletic competition outside the Olympics.
Yeah. And is it every 2 years?
Yeah, every 2 years.
Every 2 years. Yeah. So yeah, even just to get there, how did you get the heads up saying you're doing it again?
Oh, I was working in I'd opened the running company Ballarat with my wife.
Yeah.
And I was out the back of the store and I sort of knew that I would be getting a phone call at some point just to say yes or no. And I had my phone on me, and the guy, his name was Christian Malcolm. He was a UK sprinter. He was in charge of AA at the time, high performance director. And so he calls and says, just letting you know that you've been selected to run the marathon. And I was like,
So when did you have to go to Doha? Was that pretty...
Well, yeah, I went on a training camp in St. Moritz beforehand because I was there with, so a girl I coach, Ali Pashley, she made the team for the 10K.
Is she Olympian?
She is an Olympian, yeah. Yep.
So you've coached her, yeah.
Yes, so, but at that point, she wasn't an Olympian.
Yeah.
So she, that was her first world champs too. So she was running the 10K. And so we went over to St. Moritz and trained for about 6 weeks. And then And then I went to Italy, where the Athletics Australia holding camp or pre-camp was. They have the AIS have a facility in a place called Gavarate, and that's where all the European-based Australian athletes go and stay and train, and they base themselves there for competitions in Europe. So we went there for maybe, I think it was about 10 days maybe before we flew over to Doha.
Very good, very good. And then, you mentioned Ballarat Running Company. Did you start at Ballarat or did you start at Geelong West?
I started working in Geelong.
Yeah.
And then, Bree and I, we decided to make the trek down to Ballarat to open a running store there called the Running Company Ballarat. And that was a massive move for us.
Yeah.
We loved it. Oh, well, I love Ballarat. Ballarat is the running culture down there is very hard-nosed and tough, and the culture that exists within the training groups is I thrived on it.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to say some people now would go down and go, oh, this is a bit toxic.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of banter or the expectation was that of your commitment to running was so high down there that if you half-assed it, you would almost you were almost just booted from the group.
Or so they were very very intense.
Not intense, just very
driven.
They were very driven, yeah, and they were very the standards were so high, and if you weren't meeting the standards in terms of showing up and working hard and committing, you were almost just ostracized from the group, or you were just, there was a lot of looking back, it's probably called bullying on the runs. But it got guys like
Going.
good. And it was
Certainly not for everyone.
no, not at all. The group was small for a reason.
Yeah.
And we always offered it was always open, and you had to really prove yourself on the first few long runs. The long run was the test run.
Yeah.
And it would, anyone new would show up, and it was made extremely difficult for you on your first few times. And I think if you showed up after 2 of those on your third run, it all calmed down and you would join the group and no one was trying to break you every hill.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, you've earned your stripes.
If you've survived the first 2.
Yeah, exactly. And you're in now.
Yeah, we'll have you.
But there was a lot of blokes that didn't come back for the second.
Yeah.
And they'll find out the training groups out there. And yeah.
And there'd be what are the posh groups? You got any posh, very soft and around the area? Is that quite common?
The what groups?
Like the groups, you know how Ballarat you said is very rough or driven and
like the okay, I get what you mean.
The other groups is that rare to see, or all the other places very quiet?
Yeah, you mean more like sciencey or?
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm saying.
No,
me
either.
Yeah, I never know what I say. I just hope you understood. With the groups, so the group in Ballarat that you were talking about, that's a running group.
Yeah, yeah.
If there's other running groups, just say Bendigo.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been a part of that, but do you know of any places that are very soft and
white collaring?
Yeah, and is that very common? Or you'd have to go?
Yeah, that's very common. But those sort of groups don't tend to make a high level. I reckon there's a certain personality there that when it comes, there's something in distance running where you need to have the mongrel.
Yeah.
And they exist, but they end up probably turning into more social groups or rec running, and that's totally fine. Rec running groups are awesome because it gets people into running and they get to spend time with other people and they are progressing their running.
Yeah.
But
it won't get you to the top.
Yeah, no, it's not getting you to the top. And so we I think we really prided ourselves on having a reputation as well within the running community that go to Ballarat for a long run, you're in for a long day, hard day. Yeah.
So we'll go to the running company again. We'll go back. So Geelong West is where you're based now, I'm assuming that one.
Packington Street.
So how did this all come about? Did you work there before and then took it over, or
yeah?
How did it go?
So the store was founded by Scott Nicholas, who used to work for Nike. He's an American guy.
Yeah.
And he had come over to work for Nike from America. He has a long running history. He ran for the University of Oregon. He was coached by a guy called Bill Dallinger.
Is he the man with the mo?
No, that's Prefontaine.
Okay.
So Prefontaine died in the 70s.
Right.
But he was coached by Bill Dallinger too, or Bill Bauman at the time, who was one of the founders of Nike.
Yeah.
So he had this massive history of running and the running industry behind him. So I would go to work. I started working there, and he schooled me on the running industry and shoes and service, which is very hard to find in retail these days. Good old-fashioned one-on-one service.
Yeah.
And so from there, Bree started, that's where I met my wife. We were sort of managing the store to a degree, and then we wanted to do something ourselves, and pretty much the only affordable option was to go down and do it in Ballarat.
Yeah.
So that's where we headed off to, and we've since come back and we've bought Geelong, so that's our store now. And we've also opened Torquay, running company Torquay.
Yeah.
And we've also, with a friend, opened the running company Canberra in February.
Oh, so you're a part of the Canberra one as well?
Canberra, yeah.
So what was the expansion like when you to get to Torquay, to get to Canberra? Why those places? Was it an easy process? Can you explain how you expanded?
Yeah, so Torquay was a pretty straightforward one for us because I grew up on the coast.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to have a job on the coast rather than going to Geelong every day.
Yeah.
And we were getting so many Surf Coast customers. Every day I'd be fitting people from Torquay, Jan Jark, Anglesea, Aries, Bellbrae. And we're like, oh, I wonder if we opened a store there where there's obviously a massive community of people that need to buy running shoes and appreciate the extra service that we offer.
Definitely.
And we thought, well, it might not be our biggest store, but why don't we try it? And we know how to open stores. Like we've opened Ballarat.
Yeah.
Now we've seen Geelong grow. So when we were at Geelong, it grew from a really small store into a massive store. So we've seen how to handle that sort of growth. And Torquay, we feel like I founded the Surf Coast Track Club with Ali, which is kind of, I was trying to make the the Geelong Surf Coast version of what we had in Ballarat.
Yeah.
We run on the Surf Coast every day. Like we feel like we're fairly in tune with the running down there. Yeah. So we opened that in October 24, and that's been really fun. Like I love serving people on the Surf Coast. Even like the photo at the back of the store, if you go in there, it's like a photo that I took riding my bike behind Bree, my wife, and Ali, who I coach, on the beach between Anglesea and Point Addis at low tide, sunrise.
You took that?
Yeah, it's just an epic picture.
I'll have to check it out.
And everyone walks in and they're like, it just feels like the Surf Coast.
Yeah.
And I reckon it's just summed up. Everyone goes, oh, I know where that is. Or there's a story about it. And so,
yeah. Because I go to Geelong West when we go in, and I always look at the what was the name of the guy with the mow again running in that indoor
Steve
track?
Prefontaine.
Yeah, that's a good frame as well on the wall.
That's so the saying on that is called "Where are all the rock star runners?"
Yeah.
It was like a Nike advert.
Yeah.
Because, running can be a little boring. Like the typical distance runner is like an introvert who prefers to shy away from any spotlight. And this guy was the opposite. He was like...
He was like the sprinters. Was he?
Yeah, exactly. He was a rock star.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Well, the movie's made about him. He's still like, you still know of him. And it's hard to find that type of character in distance running. So,
do you know why is it hard to find? Like, do people just want to keep to themselves?
Yeah, I think there's a bit to do with the nature of solo endurance activity. There's just so much time just spent by yourself.
True.
And I'm just not sure that it's not like a really explosive, flashy event. It's more like a ground out
tactical.
Yeah. So I just don't, the personality of like powerful, flashy, a lot of energy in a short time.
Yeah.
I reckon that lends itself to more ego and, the runner is like, let's just plot out the miles for days and days and days.
Can you talk about like if I was a customer going into the running company, what I'd expect, like for those who don't know? Because obviously you've got treadmills in there and you have that one-on-one service, which I don't think you get anywhere else. And they know what they're talking about. So can you talk about, just say I walk into the running company and I'm after a shoe.
Yeah.
Well, everyone knows, like the staff know exactly what to get.
Well, it starts with the staff. So the team we have are all really passionate people.
Yeah.
So they all come from having a love of running, and then they're also like really driven to learn more. So you're not just walking and getting someone who has to be there for their weekend shift. Yeah. You're getting someone who's probably spent the last hour out the back learning about the new shoe that's just arrived, and who's going to run in 3 different shoes over the next week to test them so that they can tell you their own personal thoughts on it. But they'll conduct we'll call it a consult almost, or we build up a situation, your particular set of circumstances, like are you injured? What are you using the shoes for? And your history of footwear, your history of injury, what you're looking for in the next shoe, what does your running look like quite right now? And then we'll have a look at the size and shape of your foot. So we've got a 3D scanner that will build a model of your foot, compare the size and shape compared to other to the population. So we can dial in how the shoe fits for you. Yeah. And then we use the treadmill with a coaching app on it, and we do it we call it like a frontal plane assessment of how your foot and ankle works, and then how you run. There's a little bit, so there's an art to this as well. If you get caught up in all the science, you lose the runner's intuition. So we very much work with the customer and hear what you're saying about every shoe that we try on. For some people, the right shoe will be a therapeutic solution that unloads the site of your injury. So like if you've got an Achilles tendinopathy, which shoes will allow you to continue running with less load on your Achilles? For some people, it will be like a race shoe. Like what shoe is going to work for you on race day to give you the best performance outcome? For some, it's like, what shoes are waterproof that we can walk on the ovals every morning? For some, like what's going to last the longest if you do a bit of gym, you do a bit of running. And so, we go through a fitting that asks all these questions. And
it's a full consultation. Like I was like, I've been in there a few times. For those who haven't gone in, on the treadmill, the iPad's out, they're analysing this and that. But it's like dead set, it's free consultation, and then you get your shoe. And then you've got this walking company. This is new as well.
It's pretty new. So what we were finding, and it was happening on a daily, multiple times every day, someone would walk into the running company and they'd say, I'm not sure if this is the right spot for me. I don't really run that much.
Right.
And we kind of got the impression people thought we were some elitist rut store where the only people that could walk in are the ones running marathons and we're like, no,
it's not like that.
Everyone can get shoes here. But if there was so many people saying that when they came in, we just assumed that there was probably like 3 times as many not walking in the door at all.
Because of that.
So we opened walking by the running company around the corner, and it's like a very different environment. There's no like flashy colors on the wall. There's no posters of runners. It's toned down. And it's like
a shoe shop.
It's like a fashion shoe shop, but with a technical element to it. And we have sandals in there. We have hiking shoes. So people walk in there and there's no like question, oh, I don't think I'm in the right spot. They're like, oh, this is me. I'm looking for a shoe. And the conversation flows so much smoother.
It was a great idea. Because when I found out about it, I thought that is a great idea. So you've got all sorts of walking shoes. Walking shoes, hiking. What new shoes, what new running shoes are coming out soon, or what's the newest one you've had that you're very excited about? What have we got?
Well, I get sent stuff ahead of time. And I get to see product. So when we do a buy for the store, we're basically buying like 10 months ahead of when the product lands in the store. So you get to see, it's called a sample. So they'll produce like one shoe of what the intended product. And then it's normally a size 9 for a man and I'm a 12. So I don't really get to try it that well. But you get to see it and some of the like technology you're seeing is just not even out on the shop floor right now.
So you get to see it before anyone else does.
Well, the rest of the retail world sees it. But then you forget about it. And then 10 months later, the actual shoe arrives. And you're like, oh, that's the one. I remember being excited by this. But even like weirdly enough today or like yesterday, the first proper hiking shoe from Nike arrived. It's called the Nike ACG Zagama. And I'm like, I put it on. I'm like, oh, this is how a hiking shoe is supposed to feel. And so I get excited by stuff that's not even like that performance focus. I look at that and go, there's going to be a lot of people that love this hiking shoe.
So what do you look for? Like if you get a new shoe coming in 10 months or whatever, and you get to see it physically, like what do you look for to say yeah or nah? Like what
that's a really good question because that determines how successful you are as a store really. So there's a lot of intuition with that. So you sort of have to assess, the first thing to assess is what is this shoe trying to achieve? And then we almost analyze like how well does it do that? So let's say like this is going to be a racing shoe. So does it have properties or characteristics that are going to be good for racing? And then you think, well, where's this shoe going to sit within competitors? And that can be, how does it fit? How much cushion there is, how much rocker there is. Is this going to suit a lot of different people or is this going to suit a really small amount of people? Then we look at the pricing of it. How does it sit price-wise? Is it going to be competitive or is it going to be a really expensive? And if it's a really expensive shoe, does it justify that price? And then you look to see where will that category be? So where will racing category be sitting in 10 months? Do we feel like more people will be buying race shoes or more people?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot to consider.
There's heaps to consider, and that's like a lot. Like that's a lot of the time it's gambling. So I've had some really good gambles where I've seen a shoe and I sort of like I don't make a big fuss about it at the time because I'm like not showing my but I'm like, that's a great shoe. I'm going to buy a lot of it.
Yeah.
And it's coming out under the cover of like maybe it's not hyped that much and no one else is buying it. So I've had examples like the first Super Blast where I bought so many Asics Super Blast, which is probably the greatest shoe of all time. No one rated it at the time. No one knew about it or knew what it was. And I just loaded up on it. And I'm like...
And it worked?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's so hard though because 10 months in advance, like things could change. Like that is something that I've never thought, that would be part of the consideration. The shoes you've got on now are great.
Thanks.
What ones are these?
This is called the Nike Structure Plus.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, it's like it's the first version they've ever made of this shoe. It's a stability shoe, which normally the stability shoes like they can kind of feel a bit like dorky because they're like a therapeutic option. They're like for someone who pronates a lot, and normally they end up being bulky and they normally just make them black.
You guys also have barefoot shoes, though,
there's some barefoot stuff. Yeah,
have you ever gone barefoot?
Yeah, there's been a time. Yeah, I think everyone at one point has gone the barefoot route.
Yeah, I find it fascinating. Yeah, because I don't know, like you've obviously know a lot more than me, but I'm assuming like with a normal shoe, does it reshape your foot at all, or like why would people go the barefoot option?
Well, the idea and the concept is that we were not born with shoes. Yeah. And so by putting shoes on, it interferes with our natural inclination for running. Yeah. The idea that shoes are stiff and supportive means that we're not using the foot to its full capacity. And so potentially there's like strength loss when we wear shoes. And it's putting the foot in a position that's almost artificial. Yeah. There's like actually a really like romantic concept behind barefoot running. Because we'll often have people come in and watch them run barefoot and then they put a shoe on and they run totally differently. Yeah. There's like, and it can unload the knee. It can strengthen the calf and the Achilles. It can sort of have you running in what some people might consider a more preferential way or like a more beneficial way, but
it would be a weird change though. Like,
well, that's the thing, mate. Like, when did you start wearing shoes?
Me? Like as a human? Yeah, probably like 3.
Yeah,
2?
probably 2, I reckon. And so you've worn shoes for 20 years, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden you take your shoe off to go more natural, and your foot and your lower limb has absolutely no capacity to handle
this. Just collapses.
Yeah. It's like, well, no, I don't like it'd be like never doing a bicep curl in your whole life.
And then doing 100.
And then just all day long, bicep curl, and then wake up the next day and you're super sore. And the last thing that your bicep wants to do is curl, and you curl it all day. Yeah. And then the day after, all day. That's kind of what happened when the barefoot. So there was a barefoot movement that came in, like 2008 onwards, or like around then, and everyone just threw out their shoes and started wearing barefoot stuff, and they all got injured. And every brand just jumped on it, like, here's our new barefoot shoe, and barefoot. And we saw it, and like everyone was like, it was very easy to get caught up in, because I almost convinced you it's good for you. Yeah. And then
I'll just pull them up.
Yeah. As soon as the first injury came, you're like, oh, what was I thinking? How good do shoes feel?
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I didn't know much about the barefoot until like a few months ago, so I didn't realise it was out at 2008. But
look, if you do it properly and you condition yourself to the extra load, it can work. Yeah, I mean, it won't work from a performance perspective. Shoes aid performance. Yeah, so there's no one running fast in barefoot shoes. No, but you can run in them sustainably if you strengthen your lower limb tissue.
Yeah, like I couldn't just go into the store, get some barefoot and go running.
Probably not.
And that would like risk some injuries.
Yeah. Pretty much.
You'd have to build it up in a way.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
We'll go to your coaching, Julian. You're talking about Ellie Pashley.
Yeah.
And how long have you been coaching her for? Like, because she's like quite high up. She's an Olympian.
Well, I met Ali working at the running store. She was working before me in 2011.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It was crazy because it was only like, I reckon she might have been the second employee of the store ever.
Oh, really? What were you?
Oh, I would have been 5 maybe.
5, yeah.
And she was a little party animal. She had like insane amounts of talent.
Yeah.
She would play netball. She'd go on trips. But then she would rock up and she could win any fun run around here pretty easily.
Yeah.
It frustrated me so much to see how much talent was in there and how little she wanted to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And I think she got sick of people telling her that. And it's almost like she was just resisting it and she would sort of just like revolt against it.
So how'd you convince her?
Well, in the end, I think she just settled down a little bit.
Yeah.
So 2016, she came to me and said, I want to run Melbourne Marathon. And I said, well, I don't, and she said, I want you to coach me. I'm like, I'm not coaching you if you're going to continue how you are, like going on, like just losing the plot. Like you got to do what I say. If I'm helping you, you're doing it properly. Yeah. And she committed to it.
Yeah.
And she was pretty good with it. And she got to Melbourne. I think she did really well at Melbourne. It was a terrible day, but she ran well, and then she got a taste for it. And then all of a sudden she transitioned her life into being a professional athlete.
Yeah.
She went to World Half Marathon Champs. What'd she do? She ran the World Champs at Doha. She went to the Olympics at Tokyo. And she was 19th place. I think one of our highest ever finishes at World Cross Country in Bathurst. So yeah, she's been the best athlete I've coached.
Was she the first athlete you coached?
Nah, I coached a bit before that, and then I've coached a lot since.
Yeah,
and now I've like tapered that right down with how busy I am.
So when you started as a coach, how did you go about it?
Well, I've been coached by a few people myself at that point, and I spent a lot of time with Scott in the running store, and he had a very unique take on it all, and he influenced a lot of what I would do, and I had some really good success or results personally from following this specific way of training.
Yeah.
And no one else was really doing it at the time. So like I just thought, hey, this will just be like, I'm going to take a bit from here and here and here, and developed a bit of my own philosophy on it. And then some people it worked really well, others it didn't work that well.
Yeah.
It worked well for Ali. It works well for the endurance strength athletes, those that are quite good over the longer stuff. And yeah, just like I found like I enjoyed testing things.
Yeah.
And working with people that were equally driven. But
yeah, did you go about like the Ballarat way, the good old, the rough way?
Yeah.
What's your approach?
You know what became interesting with that is as soon as I started charging money, I felt like I couldn't be as honest or as harsh with someone.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden they were now a customer rather than an athlete.
Yeah.
And that probably didn't help too much because I was like, this particular athlete, they're not really committing to it, or they've taken too many easy options out. But they're paying me, so they're a customer, so I don't want to be too like critical.
Yeah.
And they've got
don't want them hating it, because then they'll leave.
Yeah. That's right. And
all that progress that you've made would just be out the window. That's what would be frustrating, I reckon. Have you had that before? Because I look at footy and, you try and build up at Carlton, Michael Voss, for instance, like he was coaching, and then gets sacked, and then all that stuff you've built has gone or whatever, even though they're doing all right. But like there's times where like, you build it up, you get sacked, and then you have to start again.
Yeah.
Is it the same with running coaching?
I haven't had that, to be honest. I would put it more like if you're let's say you're a local footy coach. Yeah. Let's say you're coaching Anglesey.
Yeah.
And your team's made up of plumbers and shippies and like accountants and
Yeah.
insurance brokers, and they come to training on Thursday, and they're not. You're not seeing that much
Effort.
Yeah, effort. And as the coach, you're like, well, should I give these blokes a rev up? They're not getting paid.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't their job.
No.
Like, I'm going to have a crack at them about not being committed when they've just worked 8 hours and they've got kids at home that they're leaving to do this. Like, how much?
It's true.
How much license do I have to give them a fire up here?
It's true.
Whereas, so I don't know.
Yeah. And some people would receive it well. And others would either take offence and say, no, I'm not coming back.
100%. Whereas if you're an AFL coach, you have the license.
Absolutely.
These are professional athletes.
Absolutely.
You could. There's no questions there. But I reckon it's a bit different when you start to like look at rec athletes.
Yeah. You know, like this is their kind of volunteer time, their cop and spray.
100%. Yeah, like I'm playing. You're kind of playing for fun.
Yeah. Would there be like any runners that obsess over things as a general rule that you've noticed? Some runners,
absolutely.
What would that be? Like the main one, or a few that like runners just always obsess over?
Volume. Weekly kilometers that they need to hit.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to go run 60K that week, then they're going to make sure they run 60K. Well, it doesn't really matter if you run 55K or 65. 60. It's just in their head they want to hit this number.
Just to tick it off.
Yeah. And then some, like mainly newer runners, will look at pace as a thing. They're like, I have to keep this run under 5 minutes a K. Otherwise, it's going to feel like I've let myself down.
Yeah.
Whereas it actually doesn't matter at all.
No.
Like in the scheme of things, the most important thing with running is being able to link runs together, that link weeks together, that link months together, that turn into years of running. And then maybe after a few years, that's when you start to perform the best that you'll perform.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. I see that constantly. It's the people that can link lots of running together consistently that creates results.
And if you obsess over like the Ks, and like, can that cause an issue?
Yeah, for
Definitely.
sure.
Like, would that be like one of the biggest mistakes that runners make?
100%. It's ignoring your body
Yeah.
for something arbitrary like that. Like if you get to Sunday and you're on 50K for the week and you need, in your mind, it's 60 is what you need to hit.
You do 10.
Yeah, your body just go, and you wake up Sunday and you're like, oh, don't feel this, like not feeling good.
Yeah.
You go and force it out.
Yeah, that's how you do injuries.
That next week will be 10K a week.
Yeah.
For the week, because you'll just be sore, injured, beat up, sick and tired. Yeah.
And it wouldn't be easy to get out of that obsession too, would it?
No, well, that's part of the runner. The typical runner is a very obsessive person.
Yeah.
And it's these little things that they do like fret over. It's really hard. And it takes a while. It's almost like a learned thing. You kind of have to do it for a while to learn the repercussions.
Yeah.
So a lot of marathon runners get better late into their 30s.
Yeah.
Just because they've become smarter.
Or is that why?
Yeah, smarter and stronger, more years of running, but also like they've made bad decisions, they've learnt from them, and so then all of a sudden they start to make good decisions, and they get faster.
Yeah. And if there was someone that wanted to run their first marathon, what was the first piece of advice you'd give them?
It doesn't have to be a marathon. The marathon's 42K. It's an absolute like challenge, and it's something that shouldn't be taken lightly, and it's not something that you should do without proper progressions. So most people get it wrong, and they go from sitting on the couch or finishing footy, I'm going to do a marathon, whereas they should go, I'm going to go and run a 10K first and train for that. Then I might think about a half marathon. And then down the track, when my body can handle 30K training runs week after week, that's when I should consider a marathon.
Yeah.
So there's an obsession with the marathon as something that we all need to do.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be looked at as the first thing you do as a runner. It should come as a reward for patient training before you get there.
Yeah. What would be the strangest experience that you've had running a marathon?
Running a marathon?
Or actually, no, we'll just say running in general. Because there wouldn't be as much banter in the long distance, but there'd be got to be some weird experiences here and there. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple that come to mind. One was out at the Yuyangs.
Yeah.
I was running out after work one night,
Yeah.
and I ran down like this sort of lonely road, and there was a guy parked at the end, and he was there, and I thought, oh, there's a couple that are enjoying themselves over there.
Yeah.
But there was only one way for me to go, so I kind of had to run past.
Yeah.
And his lady friend was actually a plastic friend. Not another human.
No.
So that was a real weird one. I thought I might get killed at that point. No, like I thought this is a dangerous place.
I've got to get out.
Yeah. Like if I recognise this guy, he'll probably kill me and leave me out. Oh my
goodness. That's crazy. At the Uis. I guess it's a pretty remote-ish area.
It is at that time of night on a weeknight. Yeah.
Plastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty fun. Now that I think back, I'm like, that was crazy that was out there.
That is a bit unique. Yeah. Is there air cons in here? I'm getting a bit warm. No. We could. Sure. That's all right. Are you warm? I'm quite warm, but that's all right. I'll just sweat. I feel like I'm in Doha. All right. I've got about 10. So to finish off the segment, there's 10 questions, 10 rapid fire questions. I'll list them off to you now. So, Julian, your first car.
Mitsubishi L300 Express. Now you might have to Google
that. What is that?
That is
like a long name.
That is a yellow. I found that I was playing footy at Grovedale.
Yeah.
Under 18s. My dad had a budget for a car for me, and we kept driving past this beat up old yellow van just on the side of the road. And I said, Dad, I want that. And he's like, he looked at the price and he goes, you can have that.
What was the price?
It was like $400. And
That's great.
Yeah, that was it. And then I painted it up with my mate, wrote all sorts of weird stuff on it, put a mattress in, and just like.
And it lasted you a bit? How long?
Oh, I hate to know how much money he ended up putting through because he looked after me a bit.
Ended up being a normal price.
Yeah, exactly.
Toughest time in your life?
2 times. Well, 3 times. In the Navy when my mental health was terrible. Then currently I have twin boys, and they're both sick, and I haven't slept in 6 months. Like legitimately haven't slept more than like 4 hours in a row. And then my dad had dementia, so that was brutal.
Yeah. Best advice you've received?
That's a really good one. Let me just think on that for a second.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's like advice, but I remember when like I was in this real like no direction spot in my early 20s, and I could tell my parents weren't stoked with the way things were heading. And I reckon like instead of having a crack at me, I reckon maybe my dad just said, is this really how you want things to be going? And at the time I was like, kind of got upset about it. I was like, oh, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah.
And then I probably just thought about it a bit longer. I'm like, like that was a turn point.
Definitely. What about the worst advice you've received?
The worst advice was early when in my like coming out of year 12, I didn't have any direction.
Yeah.
And you go to like the career days
mate,
yeah,
they're useless.
They are useless
for me. I'll tell you what.
Me too.
But then watching this, I'm actually really apologetic. But I'll tell you what, I didn't get much out of it.
No, not at all. And like the advice was, oh, you don't know what to do? Well, just do whatever you get like the best results in at school and chase that. Like,
what if I hate that?
And I followed their advice. I went and did a Bachelor of Arts in Indonesian. And what... I was like, I think I was the first like user of using computers to cheat at university because I would get like I use Google Translate for like every single assignment in a language degree. Yeah. So I have a language degree in a language I can't speak.
That's pretty good. I thought you'd be the first.
Yeah.
Favorite vegetable? Oh, this is important.
Mushrooms.
Mushies.
Yeah.
Favorite animal?
Animal.
I used to love a cassowary,
Mm.
but they're not my
That's a
favourite.
very hard question.
Not my favourite anymore.
Favorite animal? I like things that are special to see. So I'm going to say my favorite animal is the gang cockatoo.
Gang. What colour are they?
They're like grey with a pink hood.
Oh.
And they're like
Close to a galah.
sort of close to a galah, just way rarer.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, they've got a cool
We'll get a
sound.
photo of that after. I want to have a look at that.
Yeah.
I like that because some people just say dog and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like. I've had a dog that's fucking hard work for like 4 years now, and he makes my life. He's a German Shepherd. He's a working
Good
one.
protector though. Yeah, someone bangs into the house, bang, German Shepherd at you.
He's very good at that.
Yeah.
He's just insanely hard work, and he makes my life difficult. So dogs aren't even my good books at the moment.
Not at the moment. Favourite colour?
Orange.
You're going out for dinner. What cuisine and what are we ordering?
We'll go to a steakhouse and I'm having a steak.
Oh yeah, rare. Favourite sport to watch?
Surfing.
You like watching surfing?
Yeah.
Did you go down to Rip Curl Pro?
Not this year. Not this year.
No, I didn't either. Apparently it was pretty flat.
Yeah, I don't reckon they had good ones this year.
No.
I've had some. I used to go down there every year, and there's been some epic.
Yeah. Where's the craziest place you've surfed? Have you surfed overseas?
Yeah, I went on a surf trip with my old man when I'd just come out of college, 2011. We went to a place in West Java in Indonesia.
Yeah.
And it was the first time he had been to a third world country. And we went in I come from America, he came from Australia. We met in the airport and he'd been there for a few hours. And he's like, what is going on? And so we chucked everything in this car and we drove 7 hours through the worst streets. This guy was a maniac driver.
Does he go quick or slow?
Quick and then slow, real quick. So like, and nearly killing people.
Oh my goodness.
And we just went to this surf camp and
it's so different.
Cool.
I've been to East Timor and when we cross the road, you just put your hand up and they stop. Like the guy that was leading us, he just didn't even look. He just put the hand up and trusted they'd stop. They stopped because there's no other way you cross the road because they'll never give way to you unless you just put yourself in danger.
Yeah. You got to commit.
It's completely different. What is success?
Oh, for me, so that's changes depending on what phase of life you're in.
Yeah.
When I was running, success was about running as fast as I could. Success for me now is being able to wake up relaxed with no financial stress, and being able to enjoy relaxing and a life with my kids.
Yeah, that's very good. And where can people find you? On social media, the running company, you, the podcast?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not prolific on socials, but Instagram, I got an account. Strava, that used to be my jam.
Yeah.
I used to be popular on there, but now I don't run that much. So, that's about it. I do videos through the stores, like of just talking about shoes, but it's not a big thing for me.
Yeah, well, definitely, if anyone's wanting some shoes, running company's the way to go. You get free consultant, full appointment pretty much.
Yeah.
And you get some great shoes.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks, Julie, mate, for jumping on.
Thanks, Jonesy.
Heaps. Cheers, mate. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Noah Jones Show. If you enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and follow along for more amazing stories. See you next time.